Boston Celtics made a blockbuster trade this offseason. They added the 7-foot unicorn Kristaps Porzingis. He proved in his first game why he makes Boston the most unstoppable offense in the NBA. His elite shooting and rim protection showed exactly why Boston traded for him, and why he could be what finally puts them over the top. With Tatum and Brown, the Celtics have put together a monstrous big three. Is he the missing piece that can lead Boston to a championship title?
Everybody loves a winner, so I want to win. I want to win, and I could possibly make it all look...
Yeah, that reputation thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. In the heart of the NBA, where dreams are made, the Boston Celtics have been stuck in a playoff loop. Close, but never winning at all. They made a big swing for Kristaps Porzingis, a guy with a story that's all about ups and downs. The Celtics gave him a second shot at greatness. From the high of being a top pick to the low of people calling him a bust, Porzingis has seen it all. Drafted amidst boos in New York, he had a rocky stint in Dallas, where he and Luka Doncic had their fair share of clashes.
There was a little bit of a young bull with you, specifically with the Luka dynamic. Is that fair?
Young bull?
Young bull, like a pissing contest.
Early on for sure.
But now, here we are, at the start of the 2024 NBA season, and Porzingis is wearing that iconic Celtics green. The first game, a revelation. He drops 30 points, hits threes like it's nothing, and seals the deal with the game-winning shot against the team that gave up on him. At first, people were skeptical about the trade, worrying about Porzingis' past injury troubles, but his quick shots make him a scoring machine, and he fits right in with Tatum and Brown. The Celtics aren't settling for just making the playoffs this year. They want that championship, and Porzingis might just be the missing piece. So, can Porzingis truly change everything for the Celtics? Will this be the season they break the streak and finally claim the NBA title? Take a second, show some love, and subscribe down below. I really appreciate it.
I didn't realize the magnitude of getting drafted by the Knicks, being in New York City, playing at guard. I didn't even realize what that was at that time. I was
just represented the NBA.
I was just boom, I'm in the NBA.
Kristaps Porzingis is a giant in the world of basketball, towering at an impressive 7 feet 2 inches. But it's not just his height that sets him apart. It's his ability to make magic happen on the court. He's a unicorn, one of the best big skill shooters in the league. This guy isn't just a player, he's a versatile force, flying to the basket for a dunk or stepping back, knocking down a jumper. In 2023, Porzingis started a new chapter with the Boston Celtics. The Celtics were hungry for the championship title. They pulled off a smart offseason trade led by general manager Brad Stevens. They brought in Porzingis. He has become the real X factor for them this season. The Celtics' first game proved why they're the favorites to win the NBA Finals this season. Their offseason trade for Kristaps Porzingis changed everything. The offensive triple threat that's shredding through everyone this season. On day one, Porzingis was their most impressive player, dropping 30 points and hitting 5 of 9 from 3. He scored the Celtics' last 9 points to secure the win. When the midsummer trade was first announced, everyone was focused on the negatives of Porzingis' game and career, which we'll get to in a second. But his ceiling is so high. The positives to an offensive threat like Kristaps far outweigh the negatives. Porzingis' quick release makes him one of the deadliest spot-up shooters in the game. He can quite literally shoot over anyone. It may have just been the preseason, but he already proved why Boston parted with the longtime Celtic Marcus Smart for him. Porzingis averaged 15.5 a game in his 4 preseason games, hitting exactly half of his attempted threes. Porzingis is listed at 7'3", making him a matchup nightmare. You need a big man to cover him, but that's exactly what the Celtics want. It's not like he's Nikola Jokic or anything, but he's smart and talented enough to swing the ball to a cutting teammate. Having a guy who's that tall who can shoot that well completely changes the geometry on the court. It completely changes the tone of the game. Anyone you put on him is a matchup issue, which then gives MVP candidate Tatum license to take full advantage. He's still an elite shot blocker whose sheer length is impossible to avoid. Don't forget about those ridiculous slams that made him famous in the first place. Is Porzingis officially back? The Celtics picked up Porzingis at the perfect time in his career, right after an incredible bounce-back season in Washington last year. Porzingis might have had his best season last year at 27 years old, an age where most players step into their prime. His 23.2 points per game was a career high. He was good for 8.4 boards and 1.5 blocks per game, showing he's still a big man at heart. He averaged 2.7 assists per game, by far the highest of his career. Most importantly, he was the most efficient he's ever been. His 2.1 threes made per game wasn't the highest volume of his career, but he was making them at a much higher clip, nearly 39% from deep, his highest since 2018, and well above his career averages. He also figured out how to play efficiently inside the three-point line, nearly shooting 50% from the floor. For a guy who struggled to finish around the rim his entire career, that's a big step. Let's take a look back at his career arc. Porzingis burst onto the scene as a rookie, justifying being drafted 4th overall, a selection that New York fans didn't love at first. The big man put up flashy highlights with his jaw-dropping putback dunks. By 2018, he was an all-star, the next great star the Knicks had been hoping for. And then it all went downhill. He tore his ACL before he even played in that all-star game. Porzingis is a unicorn, the kind of player most franchises only dream about. 7'3" with skills, handles, and a sick, quick jumper? That might be the ideal makeup for a player in today's three-point era, but that comes with a heavy price. Tall guys are more prone to injuries. Their knees take far more punishment. When tall guys run around screens, make quick cuts, and jump the way he does, you're only asking for trouble, especially when you're that skinny. The Knicks saw his injury and figured he'd be an injury-prone liability for the rest of his career. In October 2018, while Porzingis was nursing his ACL, the Knicks announced they wouldn't extend his rookie contract. That January, they traded him to the Dallas Mavericks for DeAndre Jordan, Wes Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., and a couple of picks. Dallas was excited to have Porzingis, as they were in the final year of the OG unicorn, Dirk Nowitzki, who had already announced his retirement at the end of the year. He teamed up with the great Luka Doncic, but the dynamic duo were not able to make the partnership work out in Dallas. After quite a bit of ups and downs with injuries and different teams, he finally landed with the Celtics. Is now the perfect time to join a true contender with the Boston Celtics? Boston already has one of the top 1-2 offensive punches in the league with Tatum and Brown. Drew Holiday and Derek White will be taking care of ball handling duties. Porzingis, all he needs to worry about is coming around screens, catching the ball, and making threes. He might be the ideal third option in today's game, the triple threat that's truly game-changing for the Celtics this year. He is their X factor. When Porzingis is healthy and on the floor with the team, they are absolutely rolling, looking completely unguardable at times. At first, the trade had some people raising their eyebrows, especially Celtics fans saying goodbye to Marcus Smart, the 2022 NBA Defensive Player of the Year. He was the heart and soul of the team for so many years. This was a major identity change, but they needed to switch it up because they fell short the last few years. As the season rolls on, Porzingis is proving he's the real deal. He's able to stretch the floor and defend like a boss, a real game changer for the Celtics. Midway through the season, the Celtics are at the top of the league with the best record. Porzingis is in the spotlight.
It's of course it's a big challenge, to be in this kind of market and possibly going far in the playoffs with this kind of team. Big challenge, big responsibility, but it's a risk that I want to take, and I want to possibly.
Jayson, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown are elite scoring machines, but Porzingis adds a third look to their dynamic offense. He can be the release valve for their offense when they need to go to someone late in the clock for a bucket, averaging over 20 points and 7 rebounds per game. And what's making heads turn this season? His incredible shooting, hitting a career-high 53.5% from the field and a solid 33% from deep. However, Kristaps' journey to this point has been anything but smooth. He started playing basketball at the age of 6, following in the footsteps of his parents. By the time he turned 12, his older brother Giannis, who played professionally in Europe, recognized the budding talent and ushered him into off-season training sessions. His breakthrough came when a Latvian agent shared his basketball skills with a video to teams in Spain and Italy. Despite the scorching Spanish heat during tryouts, the 6', 8" 157-pound Porzingis secured a contract that summer. However, his entry into professional basketball wasn't without its challenges. A diagnosis of anemia by Sevilla's nutritionist meant Porzingis faced fatigue, shortness of breath, and difficulty in exercising. But he gradually overcame these health problems, displaying a resilience that would become characteristic of his career. Now, let's talk about his NBA journey. In 2015, during the NBA draft, the New York Knicks picked up Porzingis as the 4th overall pick. Some fans weren't thrilled at first, but he promised to win them over. Jumping into the 2015 to 2016 season, Porzingis wasted no time. In October, he scored 16 points in his NBA debut, helping the Knicks secure a win over the Milwaukee Bucks. His rookie year was nothing short of impressive: 14.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 1.9 blocks per game. In fact, Porzingis became the first rookie since Tim Duncan in 1998 to reach 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 blocked shots in a single game. And guess what? He almost hit 30 points and 10 rebounds in a game, falling just 1 point short. Despite missing the last 7 games of the season due to a shoulder strain, Porzingis still made a strong case for himself, finishing second in the Rookie of the Year voting. He even earned a spot on the NBA All-Rookie First Team. Fast forward to November 2016, Porzingis made a career-high 35 points in a nail-biting 105-102 victory against the Detroit Pistons. Pure magic, right? Now, buckle up for the 2017 to 2018 season opener. Porzingis delivered 31 points and 12 rebounds, though it was in a 105-84 loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He wasn't one to back down. In fact, Porzingis was named Eastern Conference Player of the Week for his stellar performances from October 30th to November 5th. He was rightfully named an Eastern Conference All-Star reserve that season. This guy was on fire. But alas, the basketball gods had other plans. In a 103-89 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks, Porzingis tore his left ACL. The season was cut short and he was ruled out for the remainder of the season. Now, fast forward to October 2018. The Knicks decided not to sign Porzingis to a rookie extension, adding an extra $10 million to their cap space. Why? Well, Porzingis was gearing up for a comeback after recovering from that ACL injury, and the Knicks were keeping their options open.
That meeting, I got hurt. I brought in my own guy to do the rehab, and the team didn't like it. There was no good communication between us.
The Porzingis saga took a surprising turn. Following a meeting with the Knicks that left everyone scratching their heads, he was traded alongside Trey Burke, Courtney Lee, and Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Dallas Mavericks. In return, the Knicks received DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., an unprotected 2021 first-round draft pick, and an additional top 10 protected 2023 first-round draft pick. Porzingis sat out the rest of the 2018 to 2019 season, focusing on healing from his ACL injury. The summer of 2019 brought big news. On July 12th, Porzingis agreed to re-sign with the Mavericks on a 5-year maximum contract worth a whopping $158 million. The Unicorn was back, and Dallas was all in. Porzingis made his debut for the Mavericks, dropping 23 points and 4 rebounds in a thrilling 108-100 win over the Washington Wizards. Porzingis performed exceptionally well throughout this season, delivering standout performances in scoring, rebounding, and defensive play. His remarkable efforts continued into the playoffs, showcasing his skills until sidelined by a lateral meniscus tear, contributing significantly to the Mavericks' playoff run cut short. His health troubles continued to follow him. Porzingis underwent surgery on his torn lateral meniscus, missing the first 9 games. As the season unfolded, Porzingis showcased his efficiency, posting career highs in field goal and true shooting percentages. He finished the season averaging 20.1 points per game and 8.9 rebounds per game, marking his most efficient season yet. The Mavericks clinched the Southwest Division, and Porzingis joined an elite group as the 6th player in Mavericks franchise history to have multiple seasons averaging over 20 points per game. Now, let's talk playoffs. Unfortunately, Porzingis' numbers dipped drastically, averaging 13.1 points and 5.4 rebounds per game in the first round against the Los Angeles Clippers. Dallas lost in 7 games, and fans dubbed him Pandemic P. Rumors of a trade circulated, but as the offseason approached, Porzingis remained focused on coming back stronger. The season kicked off on a somewhat rocky note for Porzingis. He scored 11 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and recorded 2 blocks in the season opener against the Atlanta Hawks. However, he played 3 games before missing several due to lower back tightness. Returning to action against the Boston Celtics, Porzingis scored 21 points and grabbed 7 rebounds, including a clutch putback dunk in the 4th quarter to tie the game. The season unfolded with Porzingis hitting big milestones. He scored a season-high of 34 points in a 132-117 victory over the Portland Trail Blazers. Porzingis recorded a season-high 6 blocks in a win over the Memphis Grizzlies. However, in January, during a game against the Indiana Pacers, Porzingis left the court in the middle of the game due to a knee bruise. In February of the same year, the Mavericks decided to shake things up, trading Porzingis and a protected 2022 second-round pick to the Washington Wizards in exchange for the dynamic duo of Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Porzingis wasted no time making an impact in his new colors. His debut as a Wizard, he made a statement, scoring 25 points against the Pacers. But the real highlight came on March 19th, when Porzingis led the Wizards to a jaw-dropping comeback victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. Then we saw Porzingis drop a season-high 35 points in a convincing 127-110 victory over the Orlando Magic. Oh, and he didn't hold back against his former team, the Mavericks, either. He recorded 24 points in a dominant 135-103 win. Despite Porzingis' stellar performances, the Wizards fell short, missing both the playoffs and the play-in tournament, ending the season with a 35-47 record. In January 2023, Porzingis was named the NBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week for Week 11, his third career NBA Player of the Week award, and first with the Wizards. Porzingis helped lead the Wizards to an undefeated 4-0 week, with averages of 24.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. And just when you thought he was done, in a game versus the Hawks, he broke his career high again with 43 points, showcasing his brilliance with 17 of 22 shooting from the field and 7 of 10 shooting from 3. But here's the twist. Despite Porzingis' outstanding season, averaging a career high of 23.2 points per game on a career-high 49.8% field goal shooting percentage, the Wizards once again missed the play-in tournament, finishing with a 35-47 record for the second straight year. In June 2023, the Wizards traded Porzingis to the Boston Celtics as part of a 3-team blockbuster trade. Marcus Smart headed to the Memphis Grizzlies, Tyus Jones joined Washington, and Boston added a 2023 first-round pick and a top 4 protected 2024 first-round pick from the Grizzlies. Porzingis made his Celtics debut in a return to Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks. Talk about a homecoming. He recorded 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks, propelling Boston to a thrilling 108-104 season-opening victory. His 30 points set a record for the most points scored in a debut in Celtics history, and the excitement didn't stop there. Porzingis scored a season-high 35 points and grabbed 8 rebounds in a heart-pounding 128-122 overtime win over the Detroit Pistons. Right now, Porzingis is lighting up the court, showcasing the highest shooting percentage of his career. With his incredible performance, paired up with the 1-2 punch of Tatum and Brown, the Celtics are emerging as the team to beat. If Porzingis keeps playing at this level, the Celtics are looking like an unstoppable force this season. The question remains, can Porzingis stay healthy? This dark cloud still looms over Boston. If he can, the Boston Celtics have a real shot at the NBA championship this year. What do you think? Can Porzingis stay healthy? Can the Celtics win it all this year? Drop your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more.